Starting with the Sunday Express, Steve.
Yep, they go with the headline, Brexit will be roaring success. I think they just copy and paste from an old edition. I'm sure they've run with that headline before.
Is this from 2014?
It might as well be, because it's from the Express. And this is just the cry that we're going to hear on the way into every election, because regardless of how done Brexit is, the promise of doing it better or more will always win people over. So this is Suella Braverman, who's promising to do good deals out of it. And making a roaring success of Brexit surely is what everyone would claim they want. Yeah. Like Keir Starmer saying wants better trading arrangements with Europe. He wants the best Brexit. It's one of those things where everyone's individual version of the best Brexit is exactly the one they think will be best.
I think we know, really, a lot of people on the left don't want Brexit to succeed because they're bitter and they don't want to see the other side doing anything well. I mean, Brexit could lead Britain to becoming, you know, a Singapore in Europe, if it's handled correctly. What do you make of it, Lewis?
I make of it is that you're wrong, because it's not that they don't want it to be a success. Well, they don't want it to be a success. They just think that the alternative is better, which is being with Europe.
Yeah.
And I once said the most interesting thing about Brexit. I said that the people who voted against Brexit for remaining are people who wanted their children to one day be able to work in Europe. And the people who supported Brexit wanted one day for their children to be able to work in Britain.
I mean, that's an interesting riddle.
There's a point in the article where they say the Treasury says... Actually, no, this is linked to the next story we'll do, but it comes up here as well. The idea that then managing to get people work, if you stop people coming to the UK to work, so we take those jobs, and we can mention that again in the next story, it will cause inflation, because the only way to get people who don't want those jobs to do those jobs, you get a supply and demand issue where the favour goes towards the people who would be doing the work. You've got to pay them a bit sweet money to get...
Yeah, so the workers get rewarded more for the work. So the balance of wealth shifts in the country from say, landowners, business owners to workers, which is, you know, a fairly left-wing thing. It used to be what the left wanted before they decided that open borders and pronouns were...
But my point is that the same newspapers that would be saying, pay nurses money, that'll cause inflation. So they're all in favour, or rather dismiss the idea of inflation being created by employing people in the UK to do the fruit-picking tasks. But they suddenly think paying nurses more will cause inflation and therefore we shouldn't do it.
But don't you think we could have the best of both worlds, where we sort of rejoin in some way the single market without rejoining the EU? We rejoin the single market so we can trade freely with Europe, like a lot of countries do, and also we can set our own trade rules with the rest of the world.
That's what Europe was all about in the beginning. It's just a trading structure. And so they took it a bit too far. People like you, Steve.
I'm not old enough to be blamed for that. But you're agreeing with Keir Starmer then, which I think might be the first.
Let's move on.